I remember when I first joined QCA and I was like, hey, here are all the questions. I'm so ready. Here's this is the tool I'm going to do. And I was so in my head. And then the moment that I dropped into my heart and started listening to my intuition was a game changer. And I know probably a lot of you guys are asking yourself, like, how do I listen to my intuition? How can I tap into her? And it's really like with what Alexis said, is doing the inner work, doing the personal development, and just being confident in your skin that you do have what it takes and the tools to lead your client through transformation. It's all within you, and you just have to like really trust your intuition. And this is what we learned in QCA, is how do we tap into our intuition? How do we trust ourselves? How can we become confident in being the badass coaches that we are?
Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the Quantum Coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. What's up, Badass Manifester? I'm so excited for today's episode. I'm going to keep this intro really short and sweet so you can dive right in. I just have a couple quick announcements. So this episode is Big Coach Energy Live Day 2, where I interview past students from QCA and they share some of their biggest challenges and hurdles that they've overcome in their coaching. And it's really going to help you overcome yours. And whether you're a baby coach, a coach in the closet, someone who just wants to have better communication in your life, you're going to get a lot out of today's episode. With that being said, the Quantum Coaching Academy applications are officially open. We opened them up on 11/11. We opened up that portal and they're open for 7 more days. They're open till the 20th. So if you have been thinking about it, if it's been pulling to you, I really do believe that's for a reason. And I want to invite you to apply. So here's how the application works. We don't accept everyone. We're very selective because we're looking for a certain level of commitment and dedication. That's how the program works. So what we do is we're reviewing all the applications as they're coming in. We've already gotten, 20 plus applications since we opened, and we already have 17 students enrolled. So we're reviewing all the applications, and once you get the initial first step approval, the second step is hopping on a call. And then on the call, I'm going to tell you whether or not you are approved to the program. So the call is really important because I want to make sure that I get all your questions answered. I'm committed to literally getting on the phone with every single person that comes into the program. Yeah, true that. So I have a lot of calls that I'm going to do, but I want to meet every single one of you because energy matters, and the energy that is coming into the program matters and makes the program what it is. And I want to make sure that you feel great about it and I feel great about it. And together we're like, this is an epic fit. So you have nothing to lose to apply. It's free. Although with the application, I do give you the opportunity to put down a $450 deposit. It's completely refundable. If you don't get accepted to the program, we will send it right back to you. Or if it's not a fit, we'll send it right back to you. Spots are filling up really fast and space is limited. So I want to invite you. I want to push you off the fence and I want to say, let's just do it. Let's do this. Apply to the program. Let's go. We'll talk. I can't wait. I'm going to let you listen to today's episode and leave you alone, but I'm so excited. Okay. Love you. Bye. Welcome everyone back to another day of up-leveling, another day of transformation, another day of learning and growing and expanding your craft, your purpose. Welcome back to Big Coach Energy Live. I'm super, super excited for day 2. I have such amazing surprises for you today that are going to literally blow your mind. So as you're coming on, say hi. Hello, Cindy. Let me know how you're feeling today after yesterday. There was, I think, over almost 800 comments on yesterday's live video, and that was amazing. And it just goes to show me how needed this content is, how needed and important it is to up level your coaching craft for you to be the best possible coach that you can be. Good morning, Christina. Hey, Carly Mary up in here. Cynthia, she's up in here too. Welcome, everyone. So let me know how you're feeling today. Let me know if you didn't get to share your biggest takeaway in the Facebook group. Share it with me here. Let everyone see what you learned yesterday and what you pulled out of it. Some of the things that I've seen and heard from the Facebook group were a big one was listening. A lot of you were like, whoa, I didn't realize how important listening was in building my coaching craft. I didn't realize how powerful it is to just hold that space for someone to share about themselves. And so that's been one of my biggest aha moments too. And actually in an interview, I think someone asked me like, what is your superpower? And I always would say listening. Listening is my superpower. When you can be a powerful listener, you then are a powerful space holder. And then when you have the tools, you'll know how to implement them and how to help people move forward. So another takeaway that I heard yesterday was about the social media thing, that you don't need to have a zillion followers, like the 10K followers on social media in order to be a powerful coach. I showed you guys Kim Friedmutter. She's a world-renowned person. She's an expert at her craft. She charges $30,000 to $50,000 for her breakthrough sessions. That is because she's a world-class coach and she's not a social media Instagram celebrity, right? She just knows how to create transformation for people. And guess what? She gets paid for that transformation. So it's pretty amazing. Hey, Veronica, so pumped you're here too. Alexis is here. Yay. Saw her pop on. Cool. And then another takeaway that I heard yesterday that was really powerful was about equanimity. Equanimity is meeting people where they are, being able to meet yourself where you are as a coach and leader in your own transformation, and then being able to meet your clients where they are to really help them move through the emotion that's coming up. And I'm really excited for today because we're going to deep dive into a lot of the mistakes that you might be making in these areas. And I didn't say this yesterday, but I will share, if you guys didn't notice, the framework and the method of the foundational part of the quantum coaching method is actually a bullseye. Did anyone notice that it was a bullseye? Let me know in the comments if you noticed that. If you did notice that, awesome. And it's okay if you didn't, but I want to bring that to your attention because as a coach, the strategy is to have good aim when it comes to your clients. Good aim with the questions you ask, aim with the amount that you listen, aim with your intuition, right? Being able to channel the intuitive messages that are coming through for your clients and present it to them in a way that resonates and makes sense. Present it to them in a way that, oh, she did notice, Brownie noticed, awesome. In a way that empowers them to be bought into their own transformation. So I wanted to kind of bring that to your attention as well. And today we're going to be talking about confessions. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to share some slides for today and we're going to get right into it. If you catch the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you catch it. And I'll be commenting. I'm seeing all the comments. I'm seeing all the things that are popping up. Okay. So here's the homework from yesterday that you guys may or may not have done. A lot of you did. And I loved reading them in the Facebook group. And there's so many more that I have to read. Yay, Karina said she usually hates homework, but she did it. I hope that this was empowering homework. This is like the best kind of homework that you could get. And it's important. It's important to know where you're going 1 year from now. It's important to know what the vision is for your business. It's like you can show up to all these free trainings and do all this stuff and never really take those steps because you don't actually know where you're going and what the vision is that you're holding for yourself. So it was the first time I actually wanted to do homework. Awesome. That's amazing. And so many of you had wrote at the top, like, my business is booming. My coaching is amazing. I'm attracting dream clients. I'm helping so many people. Like, you did it, girl. Like, you showed up. I'm so proud of you. Like, that is amazing. That's incredible. And a year from now, when you look back at that, I hope that it blows your mind like it blew my mind when I wrote mine, because it literally did. And I remember reading it on a live video and just being like, wow, anything's possible. Anything is possible. So very cool. Cheryl said, in progress, started, didn't finish. Okay, awesome. Can't wait to see it. So who's excited for day 2? Yeah. Okay, so today what we're going to cover, confessions of a world-class coach, the biggest mistakes to avoid. You'll meet past QCA students and hear about their confessions and their transformations. And it's so exciting. They're waiting right now in the Zoom. Like, they're here. I see their faces. You don't see them yet. Okay, now we have QCA confessional from Katie Shea. Woo! Look at the energy in that picture. I love it. Hers is, I used to think that being a coach meant endlessly giving advice based on my own experiences and wisdom in order to facilitate breakthroughs for my clients. Okay, this hits home for me 100%. Before I got certified as a coach, literally, this was my deal. It was like I was teaching on my own experiences based on my wisdom in order to help them have a breakthrough. What a relief that I'm not in that space anymore, but I'm sure many of you also feel this way. And Katie was brave enough to be like, this is where I used to be. And if you guys want to follow Katie at Katie Shea on Instagram, she will style your life up. She will style your mind. She will style your wardrobe. She's got the goods. So check her out. And you're going to meet her in a little bit too. Someone said, Alex said, yep, it's not about relating it all back to you. Another thing I think I learned. Totally. Bristol, yep, this is me. Christina said, I had my first coaching call last night and avoided this. My client walked away with a win and felt clear because I allowed her to lead the call. Awesome. Amazing. So good. Leah, you're here. I'm so glad. I relate to Alexis because I can hold space for people in intense emotional spaces, and optimism has gotten me through a lot but toxic bypassing is not the vibe. Amen, Bronny. Yeah, we can't spiritually bypass ourselves or our clients, right? We're going to dig into all these too. Sandra says, I feel this 100%. Amazing. Okay. QCA confessional number 3 by Cynthia. Woo! Yes, Cynthia. So excited for you guys to meet Cynthia. She's at Love Empowers All on Instagram. And that really is what she's about, is like really empowering you guys to love yourself fully and completely and totally, mind, body, and soul. And she says that I used to think it was up to me to fix people. Boom. To give people the solutions to their problems, which causes me to be in my head and not present with my client. So keyword here, fix people. Like, this is so important. I want you guys to get this. She used to think that it was up to her to fix others. And you should see her now, y'all. It's crazy. It's a crazy, amazing transformation, because it's really like this in particular is a transformation of self. When you believe that you no longer have to fix yourself, that you're perfect exactly as you are, that translates into your coaching and touches people's lives, because you know that they're perfect and whole and complete the way that they are. This is also me, 100%. Wow, I feel this too. Cynthia, guilty. And I asked these amazing world-class coaches to come on here and share their confessions, because I know that I wanted to make you guys feel like you weren't alone. I know that this will only help you. This will only help you recognize where you can up level in your coaching. This is a block for me too, Hannah said. Totally. Yes, perfect. Great. Okay. QCA confessional. I think this is number 4. Number 4. We got Carly the coach up in here. Yes. You guys, Carly is amazing. She helps moms really like know themselves on such a deep level and helps them get into their purpose and really breaks the identity of just being a mom into being a soul on a purposeful mission in life. So awesome. Follow her, check her out. Her confession is, I used to think I needed to constantly fill dead space with valuable information and conversation. I'm so with you. I was afraid of silence because I thought that meant that I wasn't working hard enough. You guys, who is this? Dead space still scares me. Haha. Okay, Alex, got you. Dead space still scares you. That's something that we master in QCA, literally. It's the mastery of holding space. Who else resonates with this one? This one's big too. And filling the space is something that doesn't just show up in coaching sessions. It shows up in family dynamics and relationship dynamics. It shows up with friends. It shows up in all the places people are like, yep, guilty, guilty, guilty. Yes. Okay. We have QCA confessional from Christy Love. Christy Love. I'm so excited Christy is here too. You guys, these coaches took time out of their day to show up for you and for me. And I'm so grateful. So Christy Love is such a powerful mindset coach. She has signature programs to like really rewire your mindset. She has such philanthropic ways about her. She does so much for her community. She's an amazing person to follow. Christy Love at Christy Love _. She's incredible. She says, I used to assume I knew what was best for the client and what actions they should take. So keyword assume. She used to assume that she knew what was best. And here's the deal. You don't know what's best for your client. You don't know what's best for your client. It's actually impossible for you to know what's best for your client. Only they can know what's best for them. So we're going to dive even deeper, and I want to bring these coaches on. But before I do, I want to ask you, what is your coaching confession? What is yours? Is it all of the above? You can say all the above, or you can say which one really stood out to you. And in the next few slides, I'm going to bring on these beautiful ladies. We're going to like really dive in and talk about it. Hey, Chelsea, I'm so happy you're here. It's like y'all are in my head right now. Haha, relate to all of them. Yay. I mean, not yay, but like yay that you can identify with this. And now we're going to move through it together. Thinking I can wing it in a session based on what they say and knowledge base I have. Okay, Alex, got you. Karina, I would say that each resonate with me on some level for sure. Confession, giving advice more often than holding space, feeling like I know what they need to do. Yep. I'm going to add that to here because that's a really good one. Leah, I need more tools. You're going to get them. Christina, my confession is I'm afraid to not ask the right questions at the right time to allow my clients to have an emotional breakthrough. You know what? I got to bring the girls on for this because they're going to have answers for you and it's going to be really powerful. So can you guys unmute yourself, please? And I want to see if I can bring you in. I want it to show up I'm going to see if it can show up. Hi. Okay, let's see if it's showing up on the screen before we go into it. Oh, I think it is. But not everybody is. Only whoever talks. Okay, so we'll talk first. So here are the 5 mistakes that you might be making in your coaching. But before we dive in, does anyone have anything to share about this comment here about where is it? Okay, my confession is I'm afraid to not ask the right questions at the right time to allow the client to have an emotional breakthrough. Give it up for Katie Shea, Carly, Cynthia, Christy. Woo! Who wants to take this one on?
I will.
Okay.
I can totally relate to this one. And I think the biggest thing is once you realize that you already have the questions intuitively inside of you, you don't have to know what they are before you go into the session. You don't even have to know what they are a second before you ask them. But as soon as you allow yourself to ground down and tune into your heart space, like the questions will come, and the questions come from your pure listening. So based on what's happening in the conversation with your client, that will lead you, and you just have to trust.
I love that so much. So much. And I feel like in those moments of, I think that then the question becomes, what happens when you are listening, but you're in your head, you're like thinking about the question, but you're not really connected to your intuition. I feel like the intuitive piece is really key here too. Words on that?
I'll speak on that because that actually, I was such a fixer. And so I would be in a call and someone would be like sharing their whole life story. And instead of holding space for them and listening to them, I'd be in my head, okay, what can I tell them to do? Or how can I fix this? Or what can I ask? And it didn't give space to hold for transformation, to hold for breakthroughs, because I was so in my head and I wasn't present with my client. And now when you just, like how Carly was saying, when you just listen and allow the questions to come, there's just flow. And the breakthroughs happen without the pressure or the pressure that we put on ourselves. It's beautiful.
Love that. Like the pressure, I think, is such a big thing that needs to be removed from coaching. So key there. And I will say, you know, everyone that's here right now is on the other side of QCA. So they've had a lot of practice, but when they had these confessions, they weren't confessing from where they are now. They were confessing from where they were before they even started, you know, getting into it. Oh, we've got Alexis here. Hold up. Bringing in one more. And I just want to see what they're saying. Pure listening, working on this. Oh my God, guilty. So guilty of this. So what do we want to say to the guilt that's coming up right now?
I would say for the guilt, like, sorry, I've got things falling over behind me. For the guilt, let go of it and just know that the guilt just shows that you care and you care for your clients, and lean more into the caring than the feeling bad about yourself. Especially because when you're in a session, your energy is there to show up and hold space. So if you're consistently feeling guilty, that's the energy you're bringing. Whereas if you lean more into caring and you consistently show up in that caring energy, that's what the client will also feel.
Yes. And that also brings up like really the entrainment piece and mastering your energy piece is like, if you're feeling guilty, guess what? People are going to feel that energy. Maybe they won't feel that guilt, but they're going to feel something is off in your energetic field and space. I love that, Katie. So good. Okay. Bronny said, my coaching confession is that I get moments of fear that even though I'm doing this type of work and always have, being paid for it is for someone else. Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever felt this way. Yes. You're not alone. Who wants to take this one? I think Christy should take this one. Yeah.
I was going to take it anyway. So with that, I think what I've learned, and I'm sure the other ladies can attest to this too, is really just in your sessions and when you're in the process of getting clients, even if you haven't had any clients before, like really just tapping into like your big coach energy. And it's like, this is what I deserve. This is what I'm worthy of. You're giving away so much transformation, and you're doing this. You're helping them to transform. This is something that, you know, you own. You're gifted at it, and you should know that you're worthy of receiving the amount of money that you want. But with that, the fear has to kind of take a back seat. And you kind of have to remove like those limited beliefs of, you know, I'm not worthy enough of receiving this, or, you know, people are not going to pay me thousands of dollars to teach them like these basic things. Well, they've come to you because they need help, just like they will come to any other business. They need some type of service. They need some type of product, and they want what you have to offer. So you have to stand in your truth and own that, and know that, you know, when you are working with clients, always bringing out like your big coach energy, because they've come to you for not more so advice, but they've come to you for transformation. So,
Yes. And I do think that, every time that I've invested in myself, I've up leveled my pricing, and I felt even more confident asking for money, the energetic exchange of money in return for the work and the time, right? Do you guys agree with that?
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Christy, so good. So good. All right, what else we got here? This is so fun, you guys. Okay. Leah said, thanks for being here to share with you guys. How did you get comfortable with holding space and stopping any background thinking?
I can take this one if you want. Oh, anyone else?
I'll go
Go
for it.
ahead, Katie.
Well, for me, that kind of ties into my confession, which was the constantly trying to give advice. And when you're in that space, you're thinking too much in your logic and less in your heart space. And you're not going to find the logical answer for your client. Coaching is really about coming from the heart and tapping into your intuition, and that's where you'll find your answer. So yeah, what was the question again? Can you say it again?
It was getting comfortable with holding space and stopping background thinking.
Yeah, so when you fall out of your logical thinking and down into your heart space, it almost happens automatically, because when you're down here in your heart and your intuition, you're in the right energetic frequency to allow for the stillness and allow for the holding space and the silence. It's really your overthinking that says, I need to say something right now, or I need to say the right thing right now. Whereas when you drop into your heart, you can send that loving energy to fill the space, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense to me. That's beautiful. And I think that is like a level of mastery and practice. When you get to practice that consistently, it's an intention that you're setting to move out of your logical mind and like tapping into your intuitive space and moving into the heart space. Like, it is what I'm getting from what you're saying. It's like, it's a whole intention that takes over the session. Hold up while I sip my Organifi green juice real quick. Yes, Todd and I have been drinking our juice. We've been good boys and girls, and I want to remind you to drink your juice. If you have not yet had your juice today, or you haven't yet ordered your Organifi greens, what you waiting for? They are so good, so delicious. If you're ready to reset, return the body to homeostasis, if you're ready to reduce your cravings, if you're ready for micronutrients to help you infuse more superfoods for your body to feel more energized, more vital, and let's be real, just better about yourself because you're drinking something green in the morning, Organifi green juice is for you. If you're not into green juice, I do highly recommend just trying it. But they also have other juices, some that are more sweet. They really do have you covered from sunrise to sunset. They have a juice for morning, noon, and night. And if you want 15% off, I got you covered, boo. Just go to my link, www.organifi.com/manifestwithash, manifestwithash. I gotta spell it out because it's a podcast. Just go to Manifest with Ash and you'll get 15% off. You'll feel amazing. You're gonna feel like you're improving your total well-being, and I think you're gonna love the taste. So if you're ready for some moringa, some chlorella, some spirulina, some beetroot, some matcha green tea, some wheatgrass, some ashwagandha, turmeric, lemon juice, coconut water, it's all in there and it's all waiting for you. So go right now. I can't wait. And let me know how you love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Carly.
I would love to add to that. I think once you realize the power that holding space provides, like once you experience what happens when you just sit in stillness and in silence, just purely listening to someone and what you allow to come up, then you gain confidence in what that brings along and what kind of power that serves.
Yeah, Cynthia.
And just to continue to add to this, something that really helped me was the call when you get on a session, it's not about you. It's not about the breakthrough or how much space are you going to hold or what questions you're going to ask. No, the whole call is about your client and meeting them exactly where they're at. And so if you see that they need time and space, give them that time and space, because that's when you allow them to really tap into their heart and bring out the root cause of whatever limiting belief you may be working on or whatever's happening in their lives. So just remembering, this is what helped me, that it's not about me. It's about the client, and this is their time.
So good. I'm just like, you guys, so proud, so proud. This is another one that I want to bring up, and we're getting a lot of thank yous for you guys and your insight. I think it's really helpful. Like, yeah, you can learn from me and hear it from me, and you will when you join QCA, but I think it's really powerful to hear it from them. Like, they just went through it. They're in it. They're coaching. Okay. I said enough. So Sandra said, confession, I hold so much fear around just letting my clients down because I'm not confident navigating them through their limiting beliefs and reaching breakthroughs, overthinking, and imposter syndrome. Okay. Sandra, we got your back. First of all, post QCA, do you have any reservations about navigating someone through their limiting beliefs? Heck no. So what do you guys want to share with Sandra about that confession, the fear of navigating people through their limiting beliefs?
First I want to say, with joining QCA, I think that was probably my favorite thing to do. So automatically now, within my coaching program, that's the first thing that we go through. Because in order to transform their mindset, we have to be able to get rid of their limited beliefs first. And in QCA, we learned so many different ways of getting rid of limiting beliefs that now it's just like, bam, I already know what to do. You do it differently every time, just depending on the client, because of course no client is the same and no client has the same need. But I would definitely say, just for the program itself, you're definitely going to learn how to help the client work through their limited beliefs. And I want to say with that, it's more so, and I know we keep talking about this, but it's more so of just really being in tune with yourself and in tune with the client to see what exactly their needs are. Because I know for me, I used to always just assume that, this is what the client should do. This is what the client wants, but you really have to just pay attention to what they're saying, pay attention to their, the different movements that they have while they're saying it, their eye contact, if they're fidgeting or I don't know. It's just you kind of just got to be in tune with them. And it's just, it's okay, well, if you don't know, where do you feel that at? Where do you feel you're not enough at? Where does that come from? It's kind of you're just digging, you're digging to get down to the deep root cause. And honestly, it's probably the best thing ever, with the transformation with the clients. So I can definitely say with QCA, that is one thing that you're going to love, is being able to discover the client's limited beliefs, and you won't be doing it in fear anymore.
Mic drop. Absolutely.
So I was just going to say as well, in QCA, we learned that you can't take the client anywhere that you've never gone. So the beauty in being a coach is that self-development is going to become your best friend, and you're going to constantly be working on yourself and finding out things about yourself that you never even knew. And a huge part of that is overcoming your own limiting beliefs. So in QCA, you most definitely are going to work through your own limiting beliefs, and having this, being in this space to do that, it's going to give you so much confidence, and it's going to allow you practice every single tool that you learn in QCA. We practice them as a group. We practice them with our peer clients. We do a lot together. So you will feel so comfortable going into a session knowing that you have all these tools on deck to help you and help the client release all these blocks, release the limiting beliefs. And yeah, it just comes with practice. and it comes with believing in yourself. And like I said, like the more you do the work, it's easier for you to hold space because you've already been there. You know how refreshing it feels to let go of anything that's not serving you.
Love that. So good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I just wanted to add to what Christy said. I remember when I first joined QCA and I was like, hey, here are all the questions. I'm so ready. Here's this is the tool I'm going to do. And I was so in my head. And then the moment that I dropped into my heart and started listening to my intuition was a game changer. And I know probably a lot of you guys are asking yourself, like, how do I listen to my intuition? How can I tap into her? And it's really like with what Alexis said, is doing the inner work, doing the personal development, and just being confident in your skin that you do have what it takes and the tools to lead your client through transformation. It's all within you, and you just have to like really trust your intuition. And this is what we learned in QCA, is how do we tap into our intuition? How do we trust ourselves? How can we become confident in being the badass coaches that we are? And this happened in 6 months, because before I could never come on here and tell you all of this. It's amazing. This program's amazing.
Such good answers. Like, I have nothing to add. They're like perfect answers. Oh my gosh, we're getting a lot of thank yous. Like, that makes so much sense. Just getting familiar with how it feels and finding confidence in that. Thank you, Carly and Cynthia. So good. Great point. It's not about you. I put too much focus on me showing up and working for me. Another thing about the it's not about you, balancing that in your social media posts too. Like, you want to share personal stories of transformation and what you've been through. But I always look through my posts, and if I'm like, me, I go back and edit it, because it's very like about me, you know? Leah said, I'm so excited for QCA. Lynn said, my girls. Daniela said, I love you all. This conversation, mind-blowing. Interested in watching their body language like that. Okay, cool. So good. Thank you, ladies. My heart feels so full. Yay. Oh my gosh, amazing. There was one more that I wanted to say, to ask you guys before we go into the slides. Alexandra said, how do you handle people who come to you for coaching, but they actually want advice or to be told what to do? They seem to want quick fixes and not to do the work. Okay, I know the answer that I want to give, but this will be a test for you guys, because I want to see what you have to say. Okay, go ahead.
Anybody want to go first? Okay.
If you have a client coming to you wanting you to fix their problems, that's something that you can dive into. That's something you can work through with them. You ask them, why do you feel that you need an external resource to solve your internal struggles? You ask, why am I seeking outside advice rather than tapping within and seeing what's going on with me?
Yo, big coach energy up in here.
It's actually like a great opening to have a client come in like that. It may be scary, but it shows that there's stuff that can be worked on. There's things to do. There's areas of growth within the client. So it's really about having them get more comfortable going within and figuring out why they aren't yet.
Boom. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Anyone have anything to add to that? Okay, the only thing that I will, oh God, Cynthia, did you, who did? Okay, go ahead.
Well, I had just a small tidbit. So when I actually had a client like that last night, and it was her first session for my 4-week program, and there were a lot of things that just made her like super uncomfortable, and she didn't want to, and we were working on her limited beliefs. And it was very hard for her to say, what her top 3 were, and to be able to get her to sit down and visualize, like, okay, like if I don't, make this transformation in the next year, this is how it's going to feel. This is what it's going to look like. So that was super hard for her. And she kind of took a step back and was like, I just don't even want to go there. But I'm like, well, you have to be able, I'm like a hardcore, not a mean coach, but I'm like, well, how are you going to get to this and this and this? I'm like, you can't be, afraid to, walk to the unknown. You've been doing the same thing for like the last couple of years, and these are the results from it. So in order for us to do something differently, we need to be able to walk into the unknown, because that, as you can see, it got you absolutely nowhere. I'm more like a hard ass, badass coach.
You're more like a tough love baby.
Yeah, I'm like a tough love coach. I don't have time to play with my clients.
Daniela just commented and was like, she's a scary, terrifying coach. No, she's not.
But they know that I'm coming from a great space. And that's why they hire me to do what I do. So I always tell people it's either yes or no. It's not maybe. And so with that, when clients are kind of just in fear of that, you have to just kind of remind them like what it's going to look like and what it's going to feel like if you don't step into your transformation, and have them to really hold on to those feelings. Unfortunately, those feelings suck, because I know when we did it, it sucked for us. And so I think that kind of helped us to kind of just step up and was like, okay, if I don't make this huge transformation, like in my coaching, then I'm not going to get the results that I'm looking for, and I'm not going to be happy. So I have to be able to do something different.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's powerful. That's some good insight, you guys, from a real life situation and session. Carly has to hop off and go pick up her kids. So let's wave goodbye. Everyone go follow her, Carly the coach. Woo, we love you. Thank you for being here. Seriously. Any last words that you want to say about QCA really quick?
Yeah, if you're thinking about doing it, then that means that you're meant to be in this program. And honestly, this is your call to action, because like what better time to be doing this work for yourself and for everybody around you.
And Carly's booking clients left and right, y'all. Celebrating her. All right, go crush it. Go crush your day. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And just to piggyback quickly off of Christy and Katie, I'll just say that if you have someone that's coming to you that wants your advice, they're like, I'm broken, tell me all the advice. I would say the discovery call will tell you everything you need to know of whether or not this client is meant to be a client or not. Because the truth is that you're not meant to help everybody, and you're meant to help people that are ready, willing, and able to be coached, people that are willing to be coachable, not fixed. And I always say to people, you're not broken, so sorry, can't fix you. Like, you're not that special. You think you're broken, but you're not that special. Like, you're special in other ways, not that way. And so really learning how to navigate the sales call process, navigate the discovery call process is so important to be able to find out if the person is 100% ready to get into the coaching relationship. Do they really want to change their life? You guys agree with that?
Yeah,
totally.
Definitely.
And we teach you all of that in QCA. Like, you will be so confident on discovery calls, you won't even think twice about it. It's unbelievable. And with that, I'll say my commitment to all of you who are going to apply to QCA, I am getting on the phone with every single one of you. I want to have a discovery call with every single person, because I want to make sure it's the right fit for you, because it's not for everyone. And these girls can attest it's a commitment, because to be a world-class coach is a commitment. So I'm very committed to making sure, like, I don't take people's money unless it's 100% positive that, like, you are going through this, you want to go all the way. Like, I don't believe in that. So awesome. Okay. We're going to dive into the slides. If anyone has to hop off, let me know and I'll let you guys go. But I want to just go over these with you guys, and we can continue to share a little bit more about what we're talking about. This is such a great conversation. Like, I hope that you guys are getting so much out of this. Okay, so the 5 mistakes that you might be making in coaching, which we've kind of gone over, right? So we've got the assumer, we've got the filler, we've got the fixer, we've got the avoider, and we've got the advice giver. And you guys aren't popping up on the screen for some reason, but when you talk, you'll be popping up on the screen. So let's go over these really quick. Who was the assumer? It was Christy, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you read this.
Okay. So Oh, I can't see you. The assumer, not listening, so already believes that they know the answer, steering questions versus guiding, and filters to be a personal experience. So yes, so this was definitely me. I can attest to all of them, by the way. But a lot of the times, your clients, they, of course, they're looking to you for advice, but we kind of have to dig things out of them. And so with being the assumer, I would assume that I knew what action steps that my client needed to take without really listening to what it is, what kind of transformation that they needed, what kind of void, where they're trying to feel. Like it was a number of things that I was just assuming about my clients instead of just asking them the right questions. Like, and no questions are going to be perfect, but you kind of, like we keep saying, you have to be able to listen and be in tune, like, with them. And even just doubling back. So, like what I hear you saying is just making sure that you understand like what it is that they're saying and what it is that they're trying to communicate. So we don't want to be an assumer.
Totally. That was like perfectly said. And another thing that comes with this is like the steering, which Christy was saying, like, I would think that I knew like what action they should take. And that is so important, you guys, because you might think but you have no idea. You might think but you have no idea, right? And then like filters versus personal experience. Filters via personal experience is like for Christy to assume based on her life and what's worked for her with her mindset and gotten her out of her limiting beliefs and gotten her moving and grooving, that's going to be the same thing that works for them. But it's not, because they have a completely different set of beliefs and values and rules and identities that Christy has a complete opposite of, right? They might have similar things in common, but it's different. So, assumer, you're just not listening. Okay, who's the filler? Oh, that was Carly, right? So the filler talks too much. The filler doesn't leave space for the client's discovery or know how to hold it. And they're ungrounded and they just don't stop talking. They don't allow powerful questions to land. So that's a big thing when you are coaching and you're asking powerful questions. You want to make sure that your questions are landing. And when they land, there might be silence, and that's okay. When it's silent, it's an opportunity for the client to discover. When there's silence, it's an opportunity for the client to actually gain access to their own intuition. And as your job as the coach, it's to trust and hold space that they will have access to their intuition. Don't stack your questions. That's a whole nother thing that we'll talk about in QCA. Okay. Fixer. Who's this one? Cynthia, take it away.
Okay, so that's totally me. Fixer thinks you are broken, jumps to accountability and skips other steps, thinks you need serious help, gets caught in the client's problem and story. And I was definitely this person. I worked through the limiting belief of being a people pleaser. And as a people pleaser, you just want to like make sure everybody's happy, everybody's good, and like fix them, tell them what to do so they can feel good. And the moment I worked through that limiting belief that no one needs to be fixed, everybody's perfect just the way they are. We all just have things from the past that we're carrying on to now. And that's all we do as coaches is help them move from those limiting beliefs. But no one's broken. No one needs to be fixed. You are perfect and your client's perfect just the way they are. And they can feel that energy. When I stopped being a fixer and came from love and compassion, I could feel the difference in my calls, in the questions, and how present I was with my client, instead of like, okay, you're wrong, you're broken, needs to be fixed, you're doing it wrong. And that doesn't make anyone feel good. So this allowed me to come from love and compassion and just to be able to hold space for my client.
So awesome. What a transformation. What a beautiful transformation. And honestly, it's a gift. It's such a gift for the client to be able to have that space to know that there's actually nothing wrong. And that's something that you're going to learn too, is that as a quantum coach, you are seeing your client in the quantum field. And in the quantum field, there's unlimited possibilities of potential for your client that they can tap into. And in that field of unlimited possibilities, anything is possible for them, obviously, right? And so when you think that they need to be fixed, you're limiting that possibility for them. So let's get you out of that habit. Okay, cool. The avoider, Alexis. Are you on here still?
Yeah, I'm on here. So avoider, this was so me, avoids the client's deeper emotions as they arise, maybe emotionally turned off, and doesn't know where to go, so they skip over. This was just me, just because I've had this huge limiting belief that I wasn't worthy of being seen and heard, and I had to work through that, which I did. And then it came up with my clients where I felt like okay, change is meant to be fun, and this is so exciting, and it's just going to be really amazing the whole time. And like I said, there's no need for the emotional aspect of it because it's fun and it's vibrant and we're, creating positive change. And so I felt like there's no need that there wouldn't ever be crying. And I talked about this last week in the QCA group chat. Every single discovery call I've hopped on and every client I've had, they've all cried. And because of QCA, I feel so confident in the way that I was able to hold space and understand that, like, this is your purpose and this is what you're meant here to do. Like, you are changing someone's life. Like, no shit, they're going to cry. Like, this is not easy work to do. They're going to cry. It's unavoidable. Like, you're going to want to cry with them once you realize. And it's not always going to be like sadness tears. Like, you're going to see them crying because they're so relieved to be seeing things from this new perspective, to be able to actually like jump into this new lifestyle that they want. So my advice for you, if you feel like you can't handle the emotional intensity, like, yes, you can. I promise you. Like, you have to remind yourself that this is your purpose and you're here to shine your light on the world. You're here to be of value. And that is a very emotional thing for people. You're showing people what's really possible for them and like everything that they have to offer, and you're showing them what's really true. So like, just remember that it's about the client. It's not necessarily about whether they're crying or not. It's about how deep you're willing to go, how much you're able to really facilitate the transformation and hold space. And it's not about you, I promise. Like, your client crying has nothing to do with you personally. So just be present in the session and hold that space for them.
So good. So good. So powerful. And I know I saw when Alexis posted like, hey, I used to avoid emotion and now everybody's hopping on to my discovery calls and they're crying right away. And I'm able to meet them exactly where they are and hold that space for them. Huge breakthroughs in coaching. How powerful is that for someone to be able to be held in that way? It's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So good. Okay. Advice giver.
That one would be me.
Hey, girl.
Was me.
Was you.
Was me. Always use was. The advice giver tells you can't truly hold the space for the client because they are telling them what they think is best for them, operates from their opinion, acts more like a friend, and is trying too hard. And I came into QCA, and even prior to QCA, just the beginning of my coaching journey, thinking that I could not show up as a coach or create or facilitate transformation until I knew absolutely everything you needed to know. Because I thought you had to go into the session just telling your client like wisdom and telling them advice and telling them what to do and just tell. And in coaching, it's less telling and more asking. And mini story, QCA related. In QCA, you get paired with a coach, one of the founder coaches, and mine was Jenna. And what you do is you coach your coach, and then they give you feedback. So we went into a peer mentor coaching session, is what it's called. And Jenna was like, I want to work on my copy for my business. And at the time, I was nowhere near that in my business. I hadn't even begun to research it. I was like, I have no effing clue what she's talking about. So I was like, how in the hell am I going to facilitate this session having no clue what this is about? So we went through the session. got it done. We're in the feedback part. And I'm like, you could tell I had no idea, right? And she was like, no, I couldn't at all. You actually helped me have breakthroughs. And the reason why was because I had no advice to give. And so I fully fell into just asking empowering questions. And that was enough. All you have to do is just ask empowering questions. And that's exactly what QCA teaches you and forces you to practice so you can get better and better and better at it.
Woo! Cheering you all on. That was beautiful. It's so true, right? It's so, so true. You don't have to be an expert at every single thing to know how to give advice for any little aspect of life, because you're actually not coaching your clients on, I'm going to bring you back on. You're not coaching them on the thing. You're coaching them on their energy around it. And I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so, so, so proud of you guys. People are like, yeah, sounds like they're tears of joy. What an amazing breakthrough. That's pretty cool that you coach your coach. That's some pretty legit tangible learning. Oh yeah. Yeah. Not only do you coach your coach, you coach your mentor, you have a coach the whole time and you're being coached the whole time. So what was that like for you guys? Just to share quickly of what that was like.
For me, someone that I literally came out of the coaching closet this year. This year, I DM'd Ashley and I was like, I'm meant to be doing this, right? So I had no idea how to hold space, how to ask empowering questions, how to even get on a call and coach. And so it was really helpful for me to have my mentor coach, to have my peer client, and to also have my peer coach to be able to learn about how you hold space in a session. How do you start a session? How do you just like talk to people? Because all it really is like a conversation that we are having right now, except you are just leading and guiding it with empowering questions. And so for me, it really helped me step into that big coach energy of like what it is to hold a session and to guide a session without you having an agenda. And I learned this just from QCA, because before I would have like just been like, hi, how can I fix you? You're broken. And it's not like that. It's like, hey, what's showing up for you? And it was all because of QCA and because of all those coaching sessions.
Thank you for sharing that.
Anybody else?
Go for it.
I think QCA was an amazing investment because like it really taught me how to be consistent and with confidence. Like in QCA, we created our own little like group of 24 badass coaches, and every single week it's just constant accountability. It's constant learning new ways to be better at what you're at, as well as like there's not a single excuse that you could make for why your coaching shouldn't work once you hop into QCA. Like it is so life-changing because Ashley decided to step into her purpose and, like really talk to that ideal client. And like this program, like not only helped us as coaches, but I know for me personally, like will forever have changed the course of my life because it was the biggest investment I made in myself. And also the investment that showed me literally that I'm limitless. So yeah, like it's no joke. If you're ready to change your life, ready to be badass at everything you do with confidence, like this is it.
Thank you. Yeah.
So as I'm sitting here, first off, I'm so proud of you ladies, the ladies that are on the call, and Ashley, because I literally remember during like the middle of quarantine, like looking at Ashley's stories, and I've always wanted to work with Ashley. I've always like admired her from afar. And I'm like, what is this program that she keeps talking about? And she keeps sending me emails about. And I've been in other programs before, maybe like 2 or 3, but I really didn't get like a huge transformation because I really wasn't able to work with other coaches like one-on-one. So I'm like, I need something like, I've been a coach since 2016, since I graduated college. I was like 25 and now I'm 29, I think, I don't know. And so just, talking with Ashley, and I'm like, do I really want to do this? But I have been so deep like in my spirituality during COVID that I was like, I feel like this is going to be good for me. I feel like this is what I need to kind of like revamp myself and just dig and get skills and get some more training. And I launched what we started in April or May or something, I think maybe May. And I was already in the process of trying to launch my new 4-week program. I'm like, I'm going to do it for my birthday. And so like mid-July, I had my first like 2K launch. Like normally I'm like maybe 100, 200 something dollars. And this is just like with 6 clients, because right now I only have the capacity to work with 6 clients. And the fact that I was just able to do it so easily, and what helped me really was, of course, the program and the other coaches, the peer coach that I had, with people just giving advice, like when you have launches, like make your launch fun, like show how fun it is to transform lives, for you to have a transformational life, like show like how much fun you're having, like doing your launch. And so one of the things I struggled with was like social media content. Now I really, when I do my social media content, it's what comes up for me like in the day. And for some people that may not work, but majority of the time it's what I'm learning, is what I'm teaching. I want to show you guys what I'm doing and how you're able to do it too. And so the transformation from me like struggling to get clients to now knowing that every month, like I'm getting the clients that I need and I won't be without clients, it is amazing. And I was honestly super nervous. Oh yes, Cynthia. So Cynthia put in our chat here. So yeah, at the beginning of next year, I'll be actually quitting my job and transforming into a full-time entrepreneur. Yay! I'll be a full-time entrepreneur with the work that I do. So I do actually coaching like in the community. So I have like real clients from, virtually, but I actually do coaching in I stay in Detroit. So I do coaching in the Detroit community. And so just being able to have other people coach you, have other people hold you accountable, it has been like the best transformation ever. Like, and really with the investment, once you are starting to form your own program, literally the clients that you're getting, you're literally just reinvesting. Like it's all full circle. So I would definitely say, do what feels good to you. If you have this nudge right now that, is this program for me? If you really feel that in your heart, I would definitely say just leap in and just jump, because I definitely just jumped. I didn't know how I was going to pay for this program. But I'm like, it literally happened. Wow, there's so much for you to learn in in the next 6 months. Like, it is powerful shit for you to learn. So definitely take that leap. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Thanks, Christy. I'm not paying them, you guys. They wanted to join me on this live. I'm so grateful. So grateful. Katie, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I did. To go back to your question about the mentor coaching sessions and being paired with a coach and all that fun stuff, it really is the perfectly aligned safe space for you to practice your coaching and allow yourself to mess up. Because before QCA, I literally had no idea what a coach was. And I'm so grateful I joined QCA because it opened my eyes to what you really are as a coach. And having that safe space where you can practice without so much pressure is what really enables your personal transformation and facilitates that for someone else in the program. And a lot of times I would be coached by the coach I was paired with, and it was a fun balance of having transformation and breakthroughs for myself, and also being able to witness someone else as a coach and watch what they're learning and doing. And a lot of times I said, hey, I love that they just did that to me in a session. I'm going to practice this in my next session. So it really is the perfect area for practicing and enhancing your skills. And it's true that you don't know until you start doing. And I didn't know what I struggled with as a coach. I had no idea who I was as a coach. And I had no idea what my BCE moments were as a coach until I was in QCA and actually doing it and practicing it and learning.
And getting that constant feedback. It's so awesome.
Exactly.
I just wrote to you. I was like, you were the first person to sign up for QCA.
I was so in. I don't know. I was like, 100% committed. I asked no questions. I didn't get on a discovery call. I was just like, I'll pay right now. Can you send me a link? I was like, I'm in. Take me.
You're so excited. It makes me so happy. Thank you for sharing that, you guys. I appreciate you so much. I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And like what Katie was just sharing, it had me thinking about what we talked about yesterday was like the ripple effect, right? Even in the program, there's a massive ripple effect inside the program because there's a sisterhood that gets created, right? Like everybody is impacting each other. And there is true connection and sisterhood that is going to be rippled out into the world even further. So it's so beautiful. I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know that everyone else appreciates it too. And we had one that said, I think she said, I love how there's space to practice and coaching and get that confidence, because the higher your energy, the higher level of clients that you can attract. Totally. Okay. So everyone, let's thank these beautiful ladies for taking time out of their day to be with us. Goosebumps, Sandra said. You ladies are amazing. Thank you for taking time to share your experiences. I feel all the high vibes in here. I love you guys so much. I'm going to share a couple more slides. Feel free to stay on if you want. If you have to hop off, no problem at all. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. Thanks for being leaders and models of this work and for being so willing to share it with everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Okay.
Bye. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. All right, but you're not going anywhere yet because we have a couple more slides to go over. So I'm excited to finish this off with you guys for day 2. And I think it's clear that being the master of your craft doesn't just happen overnight. It is a commitment and a value. It's a value for you to continue to learn and grow and be the best coach ever, BCE, right? It's all about being the best coach ever. And so with that, I want to ask you, like, what are you committed to and how are you committed to it, right? What are you committed to in your coaching craft? So for me, it's so important to be the best possible coach I can be. It is so important for me to show up with all the tools, right? Because the more equipped I am, the bigger the transformation can be, the more people I can help and impact, and it ripples out into the world. And that's what it's about. So this is part of your homework tonight. Oh, I'm so excited. So your BCE homework for tonight is to post in the Badass Manifestor Facebook group what your biggest takeaway and aha moment is from today's training. Generate community. I want you to connect with one new person and share with them your biggest takeaway. Like, get to know each other. This is important. And then I want you to journal on how committed am I to my coaching craft. You're here, so you're obviously committed. And I want you to write a list of all the ways that you're committing to being the best possible coach that you can be. How will you commit to your greatness and the greatness of your clients? So take a screenshot of this. Make sure that you screenshot this training, #BCE Live. If you tag me, I'm so excited for you guys to just make this commitment to yourself. I know some of you are already in QCA or signing up for QCA. That's a massive commitment to elevate your craft and your greatness for yourself and for others. And I'm really excited to see what you come up with. So I'm so grateful for those ladies coming on here, sharing their hearts and souls with us, sharing it with you. And you're so welcome. Leah said, thank you. I feel even more confident that this is soul aligned for me. Oh my gosh. Yes. Thank you for your powerful BCE always. Oh, my mom just hopped on. Hey, mama. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go with that. If you catch the replay, definitely let us know. Go back, follow all of those ladies on Instagram. I'm going to have them drop their handles in the comments so you guys can easily access them and connect with them. If you have questions about QCA, if you're curious, they're happy to answer anything for you. Okay. I love you guys. I'm so, so grateful that you took time out of your day to be here, and we'll see you soon. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at Manifest with Ash. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.